Hi, this is Rebecca Fenton from Silicon Dragon. I'm interviewing Bobby Lee of BTC China here at the Coin Summit in San Francisco. Bobby, tell us about BTC China. It's a Bitcoin exchange, one of the leading ones in China now, and one of the survivors, right?
Yes, hi Rebecca, thank you for having me. Yes, BTC China is actually the oldest and first Bitcoin exchange set up in China since June of 2011. So we've been operating for close to 3 years now, and we've been China's largest exchange. So it's been a very exciting market. As you know, China really got into Bitcoin last year in 2013. It was massive amounts of people getting interested in Bitcoin, buying Bitcoin, driving up the volumes and driving up the prices.
How did you get such an early start?
So my two co-founders actually started a website as a part-time hobby. They started in the spring of 2011 and launched in June. And the reason was, back then, Mt. Gox had already been around. However, they realized that they couldn't buy Bitcoins on Mt. Gox or sell Bitcoins because Mt. Gox was only catering to outside customers outside of the China system. So my co-founder decided that, hey, we should have this in China as well. So he put it on the website, and the rest is history.
I see. And what is the trading volume of BTC China now?
Yeah, so now it's probably under 10,000 Bitcoins a day, but at one point we were trading up over 100,000, close to 180,000 Bitcoins a day. This is at the very peak in December. And as you know, since in December, the Chinese government, the central bank issued some regulation, so it's had a cooling effect on the whole market. A lot of people probably sitting on the sidelines right now, waiting it out a little bit.
So there's a lot of volatility in the market then, in terms of pricing and in terms of trading volume as well.
Yes.
So what's been the highest price and the lowest price?
Well, the lowest price is probably years and years ago. The highest prices, we've seen it go up to 7,000 RMB, which is 1,200 US dollars. Yeah.
Okay. What do you see coming up in terms of regulations in China for Bitcoin exchanges?
So we think the central bank is going to come in and do more regulation over the coming months and years. The reality is the whole world is doing it, piecemeal. Different countries are regulating Bitcoin at their own pace, and so I think a lot of countries are deferring to the United States to do the regulation first to see how to regulate Bitcoin, and China might follow suit. The other thing is, it's not only regulating Bitcoin, but also regulating Bitcoin exchanges. So they're deferring to companies like ours to decide how best to regulate an exchange. What are the best practices? What are the best limits to put in place in terms of what's allowed, what should not be allowed, and so on.
What are some of the issues involved with Bitcoin exchanges in China? What are some of the problem areas that need to be solved?
Yeah, so right now it's a transparency issue. A lot of exchanges, apparently this is a common practice in China, a lot of exchanges would actually fabricate and lie about the trading volumes. So this is actually a bad idea. It's for the purpose of gaining market share. They're trying to pretend they're bigger than they are, so they self-report these much higher trading volumes. So this is a dangerous precedent. We think when exchanges get regulated, this kind of behavior should be outlawed. Or should be discouraged.
I see.
Yeah. And the other thing is that in terms of auditing customer assets, how do we prove that the exchange is solvent? It has the customer assets and the liabilities are equivalent to the assets, so that we don't have exchanges which are insolvent or running on fractional reserve. So that's a big danger point as well.
I see. Is there progress being made on these issues?
Slowly. First is for consumers need to be aware of these issues. So as consumers can become aware of this, that's when the actions can happen. So as an operative exchange, we're aware of these issues from our day-to-day activities. We know all the challenges, we know all these things. But it's about educating consumers, and overall, once the consumers are educated, they will demand higher levels of transparency, higher levels of service, and more rigorous and more just better quality of service, if you will, from the exchanges. And that's when the exchanges will actually step up a notch and offer this.
From what I understand, Bitcoin trading, buying and selling, is not illegal in China, but it actually hasn't evolved yet as a transaction mechanism.
Correct. Yeah, so Bitcoin has been ruled as a personal property, as a tangible sort of digital asset. So people are allowed to buy and sell and hold and trade Bitcoins. And exchanges are allowed to exist. We're allowed to offer these services for trading Bitcoins. However, Bitcoin is classified to be not a currency. So Bitcoin is not a currency in China. And this means that banks, financial institutions, payment processors, and insurance companies are not allowed to take on Bitcoin as if it were currency. So this is one of the rulings that came out in December.
I see. And it's not allowed on Alibaba as well, right? Or Taobao?
So that's actually not true. It turns out that, well, actually, let me take that back. You're absolutely correct that Alibaba and Taobao, as a company, they've made a sort of decision to not allow and accept Bitcoin as payment on Alibaba. However, that is not a national law. That's just a policy of a certain company.
Okay.
So certain companies, in light of what's happened in the regulation space for Bitcoin, they've gone proactive and sort of limited the functionality and use of Bitcoin on their own websites and products and services.
I see.
But as a country, it has not been disallowed, if you will.
Where does China fit in terms of trading volumes globally?
Yeah. So last year, in the early part of the year, through summertime, China was a small fraction of global trading volume. However, by October, November, December, we saw trading volume really ramp up really high in China due to speculation and sort of day trading. So at that time, the renminbi trading volume, I think, crossed over the 50% mark for all global trading volume. However, since then, since December, the trading volumes have really come back down a lot, and the reason is there was a cooling effect of the whole regulation thing. So people feel chilled out, and a lot of people are on the sidelines, sitting out, waiting out for now. So volumes have come down a lot, probably 80 to 90% since then.
Well, do you think China will eventually be one of the global mega exchanges that develops?
We'll see. I think it have to match up with how it develops over the next 12 months in terms of Bitcoin interest level, in terms of payments, Bitcoin being used as payment in China, which has not taken off yet.
How many Bitcoin exchanges are there in China currently?
It's about half a dozen.
And how many have come and gone?
Half a dozen. So since the beginning of 2011, we've seen about 67 that came and went and disappeared in the first 2 years. And then since last year, about a year ago, we've seen 2 exchanges go away in China. So I predict there's going to be probably 1 to 2 more that will go bust this year, in the next 12 months. So it's actually bad news. I hate to be the bearer of bad news or the sad prediction, but that's a reality. When we have exchanges that don't have operating experience, that are not run by professionals, that play fast and loose, that don't take their customer funds seriously, that don't take security and transparency seriously, then they risk they risk going out of business, they risk being hacked, they risk being mismanaged, and those are the reasons, the pitfalls of running an exchange. Yeah.